Before we move on to show you the drills, we would like to share some ideas on feeding. Feeding is a teaching tool that can be used to isolate one aspect of a stroke, a footwork, or movement pattern and train decision making. Proper feeding is important in accomplishing your training goal. The following aspects should be considered to make feeding more efficient and effective: stroke production, which works the hands; footwork and movement patterns, which works the feet; and ball recognition and shot selection, which works the eyes and mind. If the feeding is purposeful and appropriate for the goal of the drill and capacity of the player, then the improvement will depend on the ability of the coach to teach and the ability of the player to learn. However, if the feeding is inappropriate or the teaching deficient, it can create bad habits and undermine the player's chance of success. When hand feeding, the following tips are important. Teachers should be aware of the purpose behind the drills: to isolate and work on a specific technical aspect of the stroke, footwork, or both; to expose and work on a specific weakness; to fatigue a player to the point where he or she is challenged to stay within the parameters of the proper stroke production, movement, or ball recognition and shot selection. Teachers should adjust the location on the court according to the level of the player or the purpose of the drill. Younger players can be hand-fed on a 36 by 60 foot court, the service line, or 3/4 court before progressing to the baseline. The teacher may also choose to toss from the same side or the other side of the net. Teachers should assume an athletic position when hand feeding. In general, teachers should lean into their toss for more control. For the deep hand feed, take a small step towards the target with the outside leg for more control. Teachers should feel comfortable hand feeding from both hands. Hand feeds to the deuce side, use your left hand. Hand feeds to the ad side, use the right hand. Teachers should not hand feed from the side of their body. Hand feeds should either be forward or diagonally forwards. Teachers must be able to feel the player during the drill and adjust rhythm, tempo, and speed of the feeds accordingly. The teacher must always allow the player enough time to recover with proper footwork. In other words, recover and split with the same intensity that would be used in a match. Remember, the drill should challenge, not defeat, the player. When racket feeding, the following tips are important. Teachers are encouraged to feed with either a continental or eastern forehand grip the majority of the time. Teachers should racket feed from an appropriate position. Teachers must be able to feel the player during the drill and adjust height, depth, tempo, spin, and location of the feeds. The teacher must always allow the player enough time to recover with proper footwork. In other words, recover and split with the same intensity that would be used in a match. Players only should back up if the ball is pushing them back. Otherwise, the players should hold their ground and take the ball on the rise. They should try to avoid half volleys whenever possible. The half volley is a low percentage shot. And remember, the drill should challenge the player, not defeat the player. Also, teachers must feed according to the player's height and contact zone. Okay, let's get to the drills.